Welcome to the Books Between Friends podcast.
3 lifelong friends,
one shared obsession.
Books.
From epic fantasy to page-turning thrillers.
We dive into the stories we love
And the ones we just can't stop talking about.
So take a seat,
Grab a drink,
and get cozy.
Hey book friends, welcome back. What have you guys been up to? How was your weekend? What are we currently reading? Are we reading anything because it's such a hectic time of the year, as in me? Hello. We're at the end of this school year, and I am picturing myself as Leonardo DiCaprio in The Revenant, where he is crawling in the mud away from the bear. Like, that is...
So specific.
Okay.
It is, because that's
Very
exactly how
too.
grueling it can be. It is dramatic, yes. Drama. But for real, like, that's how it feels, because it is just a knockdown drag out at the end of the school year.
It really is.
And you're just trying to keep your kids from climbing the wall.
Yeah.
You know, which one of my kids did today. So
Oh my god.
it's not just a figure of speech.
It is the Revenant.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Anyway, that's what I've been up to. And I'm T-minus, 1.5 days. Thursday is a full day, Friday is a half day. So,
Yay. It's a
Yay.
home
And then it's
stretch.
summer.
And
Yes.
then you can sleep in. Wait, do you sleep in? Do you like doing that, or are you a morning person?
Oh, God, no. No, this does not morning. But I will say that I may not want to get up earlier, but I usually do, because I don't like feeling like I'm wasting my day away.
Gotcha.
So I'd rather be productive. Now, that's very new for me. I used to sleep in with the best of them, but just, I don't know, something switched in my brain, I guess, when I turned 30. Like,
When we
that's,
got old.
yeah.
I was just wondering, because now you're not going to have work anymore. So, like, are you the kind of person that sleeps in and takes advantage of these days off, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I'll sleep in maybe one day, and then the rest I'll wake up like normally I would. So who wants to go next?
Okay, so this weekend, you guys, I actually graduated.
Yay.
Yay!
I was in Kansas. I walked the stage. I got my official doctorate, even though I had already, defended, but it's all official. It's done. I'm done with this chapter of my life, you guys. Like, so amazing.
She's a doctor.
I am. And 2 other things I wanted to share with y'all. So on the way home from Kansas, I finally listened/read a book that I have been avoiding, and for good reason. And it's The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros.
Were you just crying your eyes out?
My gosh, I was ugly crying. My eyes were puffy red because I couldn't stop crying. When people tell you this is the saddest book ever, this is the saddest book ever. Like, and that's exactly why I've been avoiding it. So I was just like, okay, let's just do it. Let's just get it done with. Like, I want to see what this book is about. It's so good though. Like, so
You're
good.
so brave.
I will 100% recommend this to everybody, but just be prepared. Like, so good.
Okay.
And the other thing, I don't know if you guys are like into hockey romance, but there's a new show that just came out called Off Campus that I'm like obsessed with.
I literally was talking about this last night when we were at dinner.
It is so good. And I haven't read the books, but I already ordered the first one because I really want to read it after watching the show.
Yeah.
It's on Amazon Prime. It's all 8 episodes are out. It's first season. First season covers the first book. And I'm just obsessed. Like, I have been rewatching it as like a comfort show in the background. Like, it's just so good.
Oh my god, already?
There's such this obsession with hockey right now.
I know.
Yeah, that's
I don't know
true.
what it is, because I haven't even read or seen Heated Rivalry, and I'm like prime audience to do so. It's hockey of all things. I mean, I guess we live in
it's
Texas, so we
random.
don't think about hockey a lot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's like a popular thing. So
It's not even about the hockey. It's about the romance.
No.
Like, Heated
Well, yeah.
Rivalry was like, I mean, their love story is so good. And then, of course, Off Campus, like, you have these 4 best friends, these 4 hockey players, and it's like their love stories, their journey in college. Like, it's just so good. It's so good.
My only venture into like the hockey romance world is the Maple Hill series, and it's
Yeah.
the same thing. Like, it's more so about the friend group than
Yes.
the hockey. The hockey's like a side thing.
Yeah. Which is also another series I've read, and it's so good.
Yeah, I really like that one.
But yeah, that's what I did this weekend, you guys. I finally braved the last letter, and I'm glad I did because it was amazing.
Bravo.
Yay. Well, I don't have much to share, you guys. I just had a very chill weekend. Let's see. I don't know. Saturday we went shopping, and then Sunday did nothing. So
That's
nothing
great.
to report back.
Yeah, that's great. I love nothing
Still
days.
deep in the Zodiac Academy reads. I'm currently on the 7th book.
Uh-huh. It's so good.
So, yeah, it's crazy.
She's so excited.
I'm so happy she's reading it because like I'm reliving all these moments with her and I'm like, yes, that part, yes.
Yeah. I actually made her spoil something for me this morning
did.
because I just can't stop thinking about it. And I just
Okay.
needed to know what would happen as a result of something.
Okay, so Steph, I have a question then. So obviously, I think you and I have more similar reading tastes than, outside of romance. What, if you can say without giving anything away, like what's one aspect of the Zodiac Academy that you've really enjoyed? Because I want to get in on
Okay.
this action.
This is a good question.
I think the plot is actually really good.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's fast paced. And like these authors are not afraid to like completely crush your hopes and dreams,
Yes.
which I enjoy
Okay.
in reading.
yes, keeps us on our toes. Game of
Like
Thrones style.
these books don't end well, you guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They are
Like,
called
okay.
the Twisted
There's not-
Scissors
Yeah.
for a reason.
Right.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, because I feel like this is in the romantasy subgenre.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
And so you think of romantasy as like having a happier ending to a story. So that's interesting to hear. I like that. It flips it on its head a little bit.
Yeah.
You
Like,
have got to
and-
get started.
Nothing seems to be off the table for this series.
Yeah.
Like, stuff that you're like, no, that can't happen, will happen.
It happens. Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I love it.
It
I love it.
keeps
Okay.
you hooked from the beginning and you become so deeply obsessed that it takes over your whole life. Like
Yeah. Like,
Well-
that's it.
I'm at a point where I'm just like, I need to know what happens.
Yeah.
And like, that's what's keeping me in it, you know?
Okay.
Like,
well,
how
I
are
know
we
I
going to
have
get to
interest
the
in this.
end goal here? You know,
Yeah,
like, because
exactly.
I don't see a path right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know I've obviously it's in my mind because not only do I have it on my Kindle, I actually have a printed version of it. So
Yeah. Oh
I
my
just
gosh.
need to go ahead and get on in it.
You have book
I
one,
will
right?
say,
Yes.
I will say, in my opinion, book one is like the writing in it is the cringiest. But once you get past that,
the
it
plot
gets
takes
better.
over. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's fair
Good
to
to know.
say. Yeah.
That's fair to say.
It is.
Well, on that note, welcome back, crawlers. Welcome back to our deep dive, where we're currently reading Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Dinneman. This is episode 3 of a 4-part series, and I don't want to get to the end because I'm having such a good time with this book.
No.
Again, before we dive into all of the stuff that we want to talk about today, I'm going to hand it on over to Steph for our standard PSA today.
That's right, you guys. If you are listening to this episode, just a quick spoiler warning. We're assuming that you've read all the way through chapter 36 of Dungeon Crawler Carl. So if you haven't read that far, please go back and catch up so that you can join us again for this conversation because there are going to be spoilers. And if you are enjoying our deep dive conversations, please help us out and write us a review on Apple Podcasts. It really helps us out. It'll help other book lovers find us so that we can grow our little community. Thank you.
All right, crawlers. Now, before we get into our discussion, here's what's happening in the dungeon so far. After defeating the juicer, Carl and Donut reached level 9, looted the gem, and returned to Mordecai at the training guild to open their loot boxes and prepare for the Burrow boss, blocking the stairwell to floor 2. Donut gained the puddle jumper spell, while Mordecai warned Carl that facing a Burrow boss with only a handful of crawlers was madness. Still, he reminded Carl that every boss has clues and vulnerabilities. With only hours remaining before the floor collapsed, Carl and Donut returned to the Metal Art group and helped them face the Ball of Swine, which was a level 15 Burrow boss made up of tuxedoed tusklings rolling together into a giant ball. Using spike strips, traps, and coordinated attacks, the group managed to defeat the boss and finally opened the stairwell to floor 2. Before entering the second floor, Carl and Donut were unexpectedly pulled onto Dungeon Crawler After Hours with Odette, after their Boros fight gained them attention across the galaxy. Donut immediately thrived in front of the audience while Odette questioned Carl and replayed clips of him yelling, "God damn it, Donut," which is actually his catchphrase. After the interview, Odette privately revealed she was a former crawler who reached the stairwell of floor 13 before making a deal. She warned Carl and Donut that popularity and viewership could help them survive, but the AI manipulated events and loot for entertainment value. Odette advised Donut to remain a cat because audiences loved her that way and warned Carl to never trust anyone unless he understood their motivations. Carl and Donut then officially entered floor 2, located the stairwell to floor 3 already, and found a nearby safe room while their views and followers skyrocketed into the billions. As the second floor timer unexpectedly dropped from 10 days to 6, Carl and Donut continued clearing safe paths for the Meadow Lark group while leveling up. Carl received an enchanted pedicure kit that strengthened his feet as long as he remained barefoot, while Donut learned the second chance necromancy spell. While fighting moonshine-producing mobs connected to Crack Karen, Carl created explosive jugabooms, and together they defeated the mobs and reached level 11. Things escalated when a Crack Karen clone burst out of its boss room and attacked them directly. Carl and Donut used moonshine, necromancy, and a massive explosion to destroy the boss, though Carl was nearly killed in the blast and survived only because of his enchanted foot buffs and Donut dragging him to safety. Thanks, AI, right? Afterward, they returned to Mordecai, opened more loot boxes, and were visited by Zev, who was a Borant Corporation admin and signed as their PR representative because of their growing fame. When Carl pushed back against being treated like entertainment while fighting for his life, Mordecai later warned him that the Kuatin government was actively trying to get him killed. So, the last crawler update was in chapter 31, where there are currently 1,292,526 crawlers left. The first floor alone eliminated a little more than 10 million people, you guys. And Carl and Donut at the end of the section are at level 11. So that's where we're at in the dungeon.
It's insane.
Right?
Oh my gosh. I can if it was just me and Copper, we would have been one of those 10 million. Okay. But with the group of us, hello. Like it really does give you like a little extra oomph, when you even if you just think about it.
And emotionally, like a group will keep you together. Like it will help you keep your shit together because you're trying to face all these like tough decisions. But if you were
and you can
alone,
lean on each other.
Yeah. But if you're alone, you can easily like lose yourself to depression, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Alone,
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Okay. All right. Well, that was a little nice, warm and fuzzy. Now we're going to go into our next section, which we call the dungeon run. And this is where we're going to discuss a couple of things that stood out to each of us and also go into the side-eye syndicate mode. And, Carl and Donut made their decisions, but we're going to give a spin on that with what we would have decided to do in their shoes. So this is the dungeon run. First couple of things that stood out to me, and I'll just be honest, I don't feel like in this section we got so many decisions that were made by Carl and Donut, but we did get a lot of background information that I'm going to assume comes into play in a major way later on down in the series, if not in this book even. I think it's an interesting way to build backstory because, usually you get all of your exposition at the beginning of the story. That's what everyone is used to. That's what we teach in school. But because there's so much action in the beginning that needed to happen, honestly.
Right.
Now our minds are at a point where we're catching up and we get some very useful contextual information here. So, for example, the scenes with Odette and Zev specifically. Odette gives outside world context as well as background information on Mordecai. And then Zev gives us more structure for new parts of the story, being Carl and Donut's PR, and provides us a new outlet to be able to get a little more political backstory, which I'm always a fan of.
Yeah.
And so it's just really, and what did y'all feel about this section? Because it is different from the other sections we've had before because we do get all of this background info. What did y'all think?
Yeah, I totally agree with you about like this is the part where we get a lot more of that background and you're starting to like put the pieces together about the bigger picture that's at play, and starting to realize that not only are the like mobs and the humans in this dungeon being oppressed by the syndicate and the party now, but so is everybody else, like all the
Yeah.
NPCs, even Zev, like
Mm-hmm.
for a second when she was responding to Carl's outburst about like not appreciating how his life was being used as entertainment, she
Right.
like agreed with him, but was very frank with him. Like, we are all kind of in the same boat here, and we're just
Yeah.
all trying to survive it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that moment.
So, yeah, I thought that was really interesting, and it really kind of like opens your eyes to like what's going on, not just in the dungeon, you know?
Well, and didn't she make a comment that says something about like her whole family could be wiped, right?
Yeah.
So
If
like,
he
I mean,
did something that she
yeah.
was blamed for. Yeah.
So you kind of start seeing like you both have mentioned like a little bit more of the political side, and that's kind of what I'm
Hmm.
it's kind of what I was talking about like in our last section about wanting to see more of like that rebellion, revolution type thing. And
Yeah,
so
I was
I'm
about to. Yeah,
hoping that like now that we kind of have like I don't want to say that she's kind of like our inside woman, but she's kind of our inside woman, right? Especially
Yeah.
if she ends up being a good person, because right now we don't know if she is or not. Like she's
Right.
giving me good vibes, but let's see if that like continues, right?
Hmm.
yeah. You know what this moment felt like? It felt like the cut scene that we get in the Hunger Games of after the end of the games is played. We get that cut scene of what's happening in District 11 because of that. And so
Mm-hmm.
we're getting that background story now with Zev, which I mean, I've said it before on these episodes before, but I love political machinations, and we're starting to get. This is our first introduction into it, really.
Yeah.
Besides just what Mordecai has to say.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, I loved this part. Yeah.
So before Ethan, you share your second point, like I kind of want to share one of my points that has to do with Zev, because you know, it was that whole interaction that you guys just brought up, but like between Carl and Zev, right? So like one of the moments that really stood out to me, and you know, being the emotional one in this group, right? I like latched on to Carl's outburst with Zev.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that was a huge
Yep.
moment. And that was something that like made me tear up, because I feel like I'm hoping that Carl and Donut survive. So I'm obviously rooting for them, right? But this happened right after they got interviewed. No, right before. No, when did Zev come? She came at the very end of the section, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
towards the
after
end.
they killed the crack Karen, like
Okay.
immediately after.
Okay. So this happened when Zev introduced herself to Carl and Donut and basically was giving them like tips or whatever. And one of the tips was try to kill a boss anytime before you enter a new level. And like
Hmm.
that like made Carl lose his like crap over it. And so this is what he said. He said, "We are quite literally fighting for our lives here. We are not willing participants, and I am getting sick of pretending we are. We are going on these fucking interviews not because we want to, but because we have to. I am doing what you have asked. I am killing monsters, trying to level up, trying to survive. I will smile and I will joke and I will put a proper face on when I go on these shows. But fuck, you have already taken everything from us. Do not ask us to give more than what we have. We are not going to fight or survive on your schedule." And I was just like, my heart was breaking for Carl there, because it's like,
Yeah.
enough is enough, bro. Like, there's a certain
Yeah.
point where like you cannot take it anymore. And I feel like they've been doing such a good job of keeping like their anger in check.
Hmm.
And so like with that moment
Truly.
here, I kind of did feel like Zev was on their side, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like, I got it. I understand. You're right. But, you know, and what we talked about. So
Yeah.
it was just a moment that
The
really stood out to
reality
me.
is you got to play the game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's
Yeah.
nothing you
Yeah.
can do about that.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
reading that part was so interesting because I didn't even realize how much I wanted a character to say exactly what he said until he said it. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Like because you get so distracted with everything that's going on because it's funny and it is fast paced and but at the back of your mind you're still like what they're facing is really unjust.
yeah.
And
Super.
this is the first time or one of the first times that it gets vocalized in such a way that you're like, yes, Carl, say it again.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I mean,
Right.
so like everybody's focused on trying to survive, that they're not really thinking past survival mode and not really seeing like we really are on this show for intergalactic people and our whole life is actually gone. Like, what?
Yeah.
So crazy.
So, okay, sorry. So back to you, Ethan.
No, I love that. That was such a good discussion because my next point is really just lighthearted. It's just the funny moments that we get here in this section, for instance. Yeah. And I want to get your thoughts on some of these too, because Carl has his catchphrase now. His catchphrase being, "God damn it, donut."
Yeah.
And that's absolutely hilarious. But I want to know, what do you think your catchphrases would be as our crawler personas?
Oh my God.
So one thing that anytime I'm talking to my brother and we're on the phone or something, I'm always getting onto Baxter because he's always doing things and he always waits until I'm not paying attention. He's really smart. He won't do it when I'm paying attention to him, obviously. But I catch myself saying, Baxter! Every time.
Yeah.
And it's not really a catchphrase, but like that, like if I hear that something is happening, I'm just like, Baxter! And he'll be there. He's like, what? It's like, oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought that you were doing something.
Like, oh, you saw that?
Here,
So not really catchphrase, but I do get on to Baxter and I do always like just say it like that. And I would scream and he was like, what? What happened?
Man, I have to think about this one. I feel like just considering everything that's going on, I probably would just be yelling like, oh, I hate this over and over. Just, I hate this.
I love that.
It's so great. I'm going to steal that from you, honestly.
Okay.
Like,
No, what's
I hate this
yours?
for me. Okay. So listen, that's it right there, because I say that all the time. What were you going to say?
I was going to say,
interested.
I kind of know what your catchphrase to us is always like, I love that for you. I love that for you. Like, you
Yeah, that's
always
true.
say that.
True, you say that a lot.
With the fabulous, like, I love that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just like,
With the
"Love
hand
that for
gesture.
you." I was just like,
Yeah.
thanks.
Honestly, Schitt's Creek fans probably know that, but I just,
Okay.
it's Alexis, like,
Yeah.
we're just minus Journey. Like, I love that Journey for you, even though I say that a lot too.
Yes, you said that too. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do say, I love that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that is Alexis.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I get a lot of my isms from just shows that I love. Friends, Schitt's Creek, Drag Race, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The
But
listen part, you do also say a lot.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
just
you
me,
do.
though.
You-
Yeah.
But listen,
Listen.
I'm pretty sure that's one of my students would say. You say that a lot, Mr. Silva.
Maybe we should like put out a poll about like which one should be your catchphrase.
Like, listen.
Yeah,
But
honestly.
I feel like they would have to really know you to know which one would go best. Right?
I'll ask my students
True.
tomorrow. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
What do I
ask your
say?
students.
What,
Yeah,
which should
I
it
like
be?
that.
What do you say?
I'll
what do you say
report back
more?
next episode.
Okay.
Okay, good. Ethan's catchphrase TBD.
Yes.
What was
And
yours
then
again?
I have
Jen?
another question. Oh, yes. What is yours?
Oh, right, just Baxter.
Yeah.
Yes, yelling your dog's name.
Because he's all, well, it's all I do around here because it's just me and him. Like if it's too quiet, I yell out. If I hear something that's happening, I yell out. So, but if there's another one that I have said a lot that I don't remember, you guys let me know.
Okay.
You know what you say? Okay. Like,
Yeah, that's
okay.
true.
I do
Like
say that.
sarcastically, like, okay.
I was like, okay.
Yeah. Literally.
I
Okay.
could literally think about all the times I said it this past weekend too.
Yeah.
I,
And I do with a huge roll of my eyes too.
okay. So, at the risk of derailing us again, I have another question for you.
Okay.
Because another phony moment in this section was Zev and Donut bonding over the
my
fact that
God.
they've seen every episode of Gossip Girl.
Yeah. And Mordecai
so-
too, right?
Yeah.
The Mordecai, yeah.
That was
So
hilarious.
what show would you bond over with your newfound PR agent? Because mine,
I already know mine.
if I'm thinking about like Gossip Girl era, and I'm thinking about like that kind of show, not just shows I like, which is fine answer to, but it would be One Tree Hill.
Ooh, I love One Tree Hill so much.
I love One Tree Hill. It is so soap opera times 10, but like that is the one I would bond over. What about y'all?
So drama wise, it would definitely be Grey's Anatomy.
Okay.
Like 100%.
You know, they're getting a spinoff in Texas.
So it would either be Grey's Anatomy, because like I love that show. It's like very drama filled. Or if it's a comfort show, then it's definitely Friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Classic Jen.
Yeah.
I think so. Like thinking back to this point in time when like Gossip Girl, One Tree Hill, all that was popular, I was watching The Office during that time, so that would be mine. And it's also my comfort show.
Yeah. That's a good one too.
Oh, I love that. I love that for you.
And you know what's funny? See?
There you go. Catchphrase. Didn't even realize.
That is so funny.
This is a fun episode. I love this.
I know.
What I was going to say was that I have watched The Office one time and one time only, and that was because I wanted to see what the whole hype was. I just did not like Michael.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. I think probably dry humor is just not your vibe, right?
Sometimes it's not, yeah. So, but I like the show. Like, I loved the other characters. Like, what's his name? Dwight is hilarious.
He's so funny.
I love Dwight.
I'll go ahead and go next. So my first point that I wanted to bring up is how Borant is speeding up this game, apparently. So when they got to level 2, you know, the first thing that Carl noticed was that the time to collapse said it would be 6 days when it was supposed to be 10. And then during the announcement, they said that it was because less people made it to level 2 than they had expected. So they were speeding it up like the minimum amount of time legally allowed.
Yeah.
But then later, Mordecai actually told Carl that Borant is being forced by their own government to end the game as quickly as possible because all of the money that they're getting from the interviews, and they're also, I think they mentioned at one point auctioning the sponsorships this time around, I guess to like pump up the amount of money they're getting too. But they can't actually collect on that money until after the season is over. So they need to get that money like sooner rather than later because it's been mentioned several times that they're basically on the verge of bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Like people don't even know if Borant is going to be around much longer.
Yeah.
So like, again, we already talked about like getting the glimpses into like the bigger picture of what's going on. But I'm interested to see like what else Borant does to try to speed things along and, you know, how Carl and Donut are going to fare because of this.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of that?
Yeah, so I guess like in the very beginning when we started our conversation, like I was definitely, I mean, if I already read it once, so I was like obviously loving Carl and Donut's, you know, like interactions, their funny moments, everything. So when I started reading it the second time around, I was like, I want to know more on the political intrigue side. So I have been trying to pay more attention to that as I'm reading the second time around. And so this was definitely one of those things where I'm like, how is this going to tie into the way that they handle the floors? Because they have some say over it, but so does the AI, and they don't always get along. And so that's going to be really interesting to see how they clash.
Incredibly interesting.
Yeah. So it's like to see how they clash because the AI does pick a lot of stuff for the crawlers, even though the Borant Corporation, you know, is technically over this whole thing, like over this show. So that's what I'm interested to see. So I want to know how this whole like speeding things up thing is going to work with the AI system. Like, is the AI system going to start giving them better loot to help them survive so that they don't, so that more people do survive and it makes the season longer? Like, I don't know.
So
yeah.
Now that we're talking about this, I'm wondering if it's going to be a situation to where the AI favors Carl and Donut.
Right.
And because they're getting so many views or whatever. And because of that, it's going to favor, which automatically makes them, I would think, an enemy of the Borant Corporation. So they're going to be going up against each other in that regard.
Right.
That would be a prediction I might have almost.
Yeah.
That's what it leads me to kind of think about.
Well, and we've already seen how the AI's obsession with Carl's feet have already saved him once.
Yeah.
You know?
Not the creepy fetish.
I mean, but it's
helping.
there.
We don't judge,
It's a
but still.
factor.
Like, it kept him alive, though, because he even said that table should have cut off his legs, and it didn't. You know?
Yeah,
so.
because they're practically like indestructible.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Makes me
Thanks to
think
the
of like
pedicure
Wreck-It
kit.
Ralph.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The big old,
That's funny.
Yeah. That's going to be interesting to see.
Right. I'm interested to see how that all plays out, because obviously that just adds another complication to the mix and makes it entertaining.
Yeah.
And then the second thing I wanted to discuss was Odette. So, Ethan, you already talked about her, but she mentioned that she used to be Mordecai's trainer during his dungeon crawl. And she asked them to pass a message along to him that he should like contact her after this dungeon crawl. And then when they did that, Mordecai was upset about it and said he didn't want anything to do with her. So I want to know more about that backstory. Obviously, we know like they have history because she was his trainer, but like, why does he hate her so much? Did she not help him as his trainer? Did she mislead him? What happened there?
Okay, so I have some thoughts on that. So one of the things that Mordecai said about Odette was that like Odette cares about one thing and one thing only, and that's Odette, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sure that came into play when she was his trainer. Like, whatever help she gave Mordecai was to make sure that it favored her, not him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think, and I was thinking about this when I saw your notes in there, and I'm like, I think that it has something to do with Mordecai's brother. So that picture that he keeps hugging, right? In the very beginning.
Yeah.
Like, it hasn't come up again. Like, his family hasn't come up again, but I feel like that kind of hatred only comes when you have hurt somebody, not them, but you have hurt somebody that they love.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's what I think. I don't know. We haven't gotten more on this story yet. But I just feel like a hatred that big can only come from when you hurt somebody that you love. And he's already subtly mentioned his brother one time, and you know?
And he keeps that picture
Yeah.
of him.
Yeah.
I thought similar things about the brother situation when I read that. I was like, what things are awkward for Mordecai in general, and what do those have in common? And that's, I was like, okay, there's some common factors here. The brother seems to be the question mark here.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. We don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
yeah, but I was confused a little, I guess maybe taken aback when I read this section, because usually Mordecai is very helpful, even though you can tell he's a little haggard, like he's tired of all of this.
Yeah.
But he's usually fairly helpful. So it would have struck me that he may have mentioned Odette at some point, even though he clearly does not like her, but he knew it might be helpful to them, considering they're a cat and a human man working together, so they're probably going to get some viewership. You know, that's probably a situation where he could have prepared them more than he actually did. And he's usually forthcoming about stuff like that, even if he only mentions it very briefly. But this is, it struck me as a little weird.
Yeah, Odette also brought up when she told Carl or gave him that advice about making sure you know people's motivations. She also told Carl about Mordecai's deal with the syndicate, and how like if they don't make it to a certain level, he actually won't get out. Like this won't be his last run.
Right.
They have to make it to level 4.
Yeah. So like, obviously he's hopefully going to try to help them get there, but you know, like, why would she share that about Mordecai? And again, also keeping in mind that Odette only cares about Odette.
Right.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
just a lot of factors at play here.
I know. Ethan, I don't think that he would have been forthcoming because he's not allowed to say a lot of things unless you ask him directly. And he said that one time too. He was like, I can't talk about this unless you directly ask me.
Right.
And that's not a question that he directly asked him. Like, there are some questions that Carl will ask and he'll be like, good, you asked me. Like, now I can tell you a little bit about it. But he can't, like, share tons of information that are not specifically to like a tutorial for his survival, you know?
Yeah. And there's probably things that he explicitly cannot tell them, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. At least that's what I think. I don't know.
No, that's valid. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, so my first point we already talked about, and that was Carl's outburst, you know, my heart breaking for my dude, my man's.
Yeah.
And the second thing that really stood out to me was Carl's ominous feeling about their popularity after being on Odette's show, you know, like this is what he was thinking to himself. Carl knew that with views and popularity, they would have a good chance of surviving, but he had a terrible ominous feeling that all of this attention was a mistake. There was something to be said about being anonymous, quietly efficient. And I don't know, like, what do y'all think about that? Do you think there's some merit to his feelings, or do you think it's just Carl being overly cautious?
No, I think he's like probably on the right track to think that because I mean, at the end of the day, they're putting on a show for entertainment. And so if you come out on top and all of a sudden you have a bunch of interest in you, then, you know, like maybe the AI is going to mess with you to try to like keep things interesting, you know, rather than like being able to just like go under the radar.
Yeah, especially after the reveal and confirmation that Odette gave about the AI. I mean, it's not really random, you know, it's and so there's confirmation there. And so to your point, why wouldn't the AI make it a little more interesting?
Yeah. I'm a little nervous about Donut and her being so like wanting to be on the spotlight.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if like that's going to be a problem or not. But I didn't know if he was just being overly cautious or if we think that something is going to happen later on. Like, is this foreshadowing that something big is going to happen? I guess is what I'm trying to get at, you know?
I think maybe, yeah.
I would say yes.
Like, it's probably not a great thing to be in the spotlight, especially knowing, like, at least knowing what we know now about this game and, like, the powers that be and what their control is over basically everybody in this world, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Man. Oh, Princess Donut. Why did you have to be so funny? It's really her. Let's be honest.
And stylish. Frank is an American hero, Carl.
Oh, I love her.
All right. Before we get into our next section, I'm just going to sum things up here with a casting decision that I have made for Carl. So, like I want to do, I like casting these characters. Okay. And I think I know Jacob Elordi is being passed around right now for Carl.
Really?
Oh, really? Okay.
I guess because he's so tall, right?
He is, and he's like the perfect age, honestly. Yeah. But even though he's older than Carl is, I 100% see Glenn Powell in Carl's
I see Glenn Powell
role.
Too, yeah. Oh, yeah. He has been in a few
movies. What has he been in?
He's in the Twister sequel, like... Twister 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's also in one of those Top Gun
I recognize
movies,
the face. Top Gun?
Yes, he's in Top Gun, Maverick.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen him in. Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Right? You can see that.
He's in...
Okay.
He's in Scream Queens.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so...
He's also in a romance.
He's my casting choice for Carl.
Yeah, I think it's a good choice. Cool. And honestly, the show or the book got picked up for a show, even though it probably won't happen till like another 10 years, right?
I know, right?
Yeah, these things take so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't hold your breath.
It'll be interesting to see who they cast for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the next section of the dungeon run, we're going to get into some pivotal decisions here in this section. Decisions that Carl and Donut made, and then we're going to discuss if we would do anything differently as the Side-Eye Syndicate. So I'm going to pass it on over to Steph.
So the first decision that we're going to discuss is Carl and Donut choosing to continue helping the Meadowlark group past the second floor. So, after they made it to the second floor and helped all of the Meadowlark group come down before the collapse of the first floor, Carl asked Donut if they should continue doing their own thing and just, leave it at that with the Meadowlark group, or if they should continue helping them. And Donut, bless her heart, I love her.
Love her.
She was so sweet. She was like, "Oh, Carl, I already knew that you would want to help her, keep helping them, obviously." And then she, I thought, came up with a great compromise. They decided that they were gonna, leave them be now that they're safe on the second floor, continue doing their own thing and getting more experience and leveling up. And then once they got to the third floor, they'll go back and bring them down and keep doing that as much as they can for the group.
Yeah.
So that's the scenario. Now it's time to discuss how we would handle this situation as the Side-Eye Syndicate.
So for me, I said in our last episode that when I played games like Fable, I cannot make a villainous decision, even though it encourages you to do so sometimes.
Yeah.
I just cannot do it. And so for that reason, I would, of course, immediately want to help them, even join their group, like, yes, let's do it. But unless there's a good compromise, as you just mentioned, Steph, where I can still get experience that I need to get experience for and, maybe even boost my viewership for and stuff like that. If I can do that while still getting the benefit of feeling good about myself because I'm helping someone else, then no. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely. 100% loved this decision for them.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was thinking too. Like, obviously in the last section, we talked about how I would have left them behind, right? Like,
me too. You're not alone.
But selfishly thinking, like, we needed to protect our group and make sure that we were strong, right?
Yeah.
But after seeing that, obviously we can have the best of both worlds here. Where yes, we can still continue doing what we need to, but we can also be helpful and don't always have to stick with them 24/7. Right. That's obviously the best scenario. So I would definitely be with Ethan on this one and be like, yeah, let's do both. Let's go do our own thing. Let's help them out. Let's keep them on our chat. We got this. And then once they need to go to the third floor, we can go help them do that.
Yeah. Yeah. So then Carl and Donut went ahead to the second floor and cleared a path to the closest safe house and then brought them over. So I thought that was a great way to, split the difference of making sure they're good while also making sure they do what they need to do.
Yeah. Love it.
So next up, after the events of the Meadowlark group and the ball of swine.
Sorry.
It's so gross. We get their first interview. And so the decision here is just the fact on how would we actually perform in this interview? Because now they've obviously gained some kind of popularity because they're pulled on with Odette. And we come to find out from her assistant Lexus that she's the most watched interview show ever.
Yeah.
And so because of that, we can safely assume that Carl and Donut are very popular. And Odette even goes on to mention that specifically. And when Donut is talking and she's putting on her charisma and she is just her very charming self, Carl mentions he can hear the crowd of these trillions of viewers that are going on from, a digital forum. Obviously, they're not all there, but it's just interesting to see. So they did very well during this interview, especially Donut. And Carl kind of lets Donut take the lead here.
Yeah.
And she even says, "Carl, this is my world." You know, basically to that effect.
It's my thing. You do my thing.
She was like, "You are the dungeon. I am this."
Yes.
And so it was just a great, great moment. But how do you think we would do as the Side-Eye Syndicate? Because I am not Donut, and I can almost guarantee that I would just be rambling, saying the same phrase over and over again, just because I wouldn't know what else to say. I would answer the question and be like, "Yeah, totally, yeah, totally," because I'm so awkward in these situations. What about y'all?
So my problem wouldn't necessarily be like what to say or coming up with a response to questions. I just don't have that much charisma. So I would probably just like answer the question, but not necessarily jazz it up for the views, and probably, fall flat a little bit on the charisma.
Just a straight delivery. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
A little bit like Carl, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's very direct.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, he is. So.
Direct. That was the word I was looking
Yeah.
for. Direct. Yes.
Well, okay, so for me, I think it's safe to say that none of us have a lot of charisma points and that we're in like desperate
We're so
need.
yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
We think we're funny among ourselves. That's about it. But when it comes to facing a group, I don't know.
Yeah.
So for me, if I were in that situation, I tend to overtalk when I'm nervous or if I don't know, like if I don't feel comfortable with the situation, I start rambling. I forget what the original question was to begin with.
You get off topic.
Yep. And then I would probably be talking so fast because I'm trying to like speed through this whole conversation because I want to be done with it.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah, we would probably gain no patrons after this
Probably
interview.
not.
Viewers would be so excited, be like, yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah.
I was excited about this. So, after hearing everything, I think it's safe to say that we would all, after each of our dismal performances, that we would be shocked if we went up in charisma points at this point.
Yeah.
You know what we need? We need one of those treats that Donut took that like
Yeah.
boosted her
Boost your
confidence and
charisma.
charisma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's what we need. I think that we call that alcohol, right?
Right? Yeah. Even
Yeah,
Odette
just
said, she was like, it's
few glasses of
the
wine.
same as having a glass of wine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll
That's
boost
what we
my
need.
confidence right up.
Yeah. Mama loves the grape.
If you give me too much grape though, then I start to be a little inappropriate. So let's
Yeah.
find a balance here.
Find a good balance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So the third like major decision that Carl and Donut face is when they are faced off with the crack Karen boss and
I just love that boss name. That's so funny.
I will have you know, I got in trouble at work one time for calling someone a Karen. Like, I got an actual...
Yeah.
you did? That's
I did.
hilarious.
Yeah, for calling someone a Karen.
They probably deserved it.
Okay, but it was like a completely hypothetical situation. I was presenting something and I'm like, yeah, I mean, if you've ever been faced with a Karen, and
That's funny.
I
Yeah,
got in
it's
trouble
no
for it,
longer safe for work to
No.
sarcastically call someone a Karen.
No.
You're such a Karen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so this decision came after I think they like went to go battle some fairies or there was like some mobs that they were fighting off. And they knew there was a boss room close by, but they had decided they did not want to fight this boss. This boss like gave off some kind of like taint. So Carl and Donut decide not to fight this like nearby boss because they knew that they couldn't fight it off, right? Like they knew that they didn't have anything that was going to help. And they also didn't know what they were facing. Like they didn't know if the crack Karen was going to give anything off that they weren't protected against. So they said, no, we're not fighting this boss. So instead they decided to loot the room and take as much stuff as they can take. Oh, this is the people with the moonshine. So they were trying to take as much moonshine available, trying to take as many jugs or whatever, when they got attacked by the crack Karen. And so they got this like new achievement saying the boss can leave its room. Welcome to the second floor, bitch.
Surprise.
Yeah. So they actually got attacked, and what Carl decided was to take one of the zombies that Donut can create and have it carry a bomb or a dynamite into the room and blow it up. But the kicker here was that
Genius, honestly.
it's
Yeah.
genius, but you're in such a close quarter that like you run the risk of dying. And he even said it himself. He was like, I know you will survive, Donut, but I won't. And he did it anyway. So like,
Yeah, because his health level was already pretty low.
yeah. And so this is the boss fight that almost killed him. So I just like, what were you thinking, Carl? And as a group, how would we have handled that situation? Because like they got surprised by that. Like it was a surprise
Yeah.
attack. They did not see that coming whatsoever. So as a group, I think we would have decided not to fight the crack Karen, just like Donut and Carl originally decided, right? But thanks to our group's like collective loot boxes, we have some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, especially for situations like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Ethan. You start us off. What is your loot box, or like what is Copper's loot box going to do to help us here?
Okay, so Copper comes in clutch here. I will say, my anxious dog to no end.
Yay.
Because of his anxiety, he was awarded the hypervigilance collar in our last episode. And what that does is that it alerts us to the fact that a boss is about to do a sneak attack, or a crawler or a fellow crawler that might be hostile, or another mob that might be doing a sneak attack. It can detect sneak attacks. So Copper starts barking and growling, which he's never done really. So when he does, it's a big deal, and it's because of this collar. So we're already on the alert.
And then Stephanie.
Yeah, so last time I got something called a mercy fuse, which is an explosive that actually weakens your enemy without killing them outright. So we would choose to use that in combination with something else that Ethan has.
Yeah, so also in the last loot box that I got a delayed consequence rune that I can equip to an explosive like the Mercy Fuse, and it allows us to delay detonation if we need to be strategic with timing and such. So that comes in clutch too.
And then me and Baxter come in with a protective shield. So Baxter has this like a warning bell that creates like a protective shield around me, so I would have everybody come behind us and it would create the shield for us, and then I would use my cardigan of emotional armor which helps slow down time, which gives us enough space to throw the explosive that we were talking about. And so we would get the heck out of there because we are not fighting this crack Karen.
No, and we thought of this all on the fly.
We did.
But we all have high intelligence, so that's not too far off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And we had enough alert thanks to Copper,
Yeah.
So like it gave us a little bit of time to try to figure out how we were going to handle the situation.
Right. Well, speaking of taking all of these decisions into account, we're going to get to our next segment that we call New Achievement. So this is the fun part where we get to see the immediate results of the actions that we've just taken. So I'll get us kicked off here. Ethan the Unamused, as ever. Here are my new stats. So last episode I was level 7. Now I'm level 10. Applause.
Wow, nice.
Good job.
Yes, strength. I'm still a weakling. My strength went from 8 to 9. My dexterity has gone from 15 to 17. Endurance 14 to 16, intelligence 20 to 22, and charisma 15 to 17. So
nice.
Hey, maybe I don't have to be so introverted during an interview in the future. My new achievement is weaponized avoidance. I survived a boss encounter by utilizing strategy, teamwork, emotional support, layered utility items, tactical retreat, and one deeply anxious dog.
Oh, Copper.
I know. The dungeon expected glorious violence, reckless sacrifice, or at a minimum, one catastrophic mistake. Instead, your party executed coordinated crowd control, timed explosives, defensive shielding, escape routing, and support synergy.
Nice.
Disgusting behavior, honestly. Rewards: +2 to dexterity, +1 to intelligence, +1 to charisma, and a party reputation perk unlocked.
Ooh.
Hello. The Side Eye Syndicate, which is us, hello, but this is our perk. Your group gains minor bonuses when working together in coordinated actions.
Okay.
Passive effects: slightly improved reaction timing during group combat, reduced panic effects while allies are nearby, increased success chance for combo abilities. Cool. And I got some loot here. The Platinum Cooperative Survival Box. So the loot received, I got a conversational reboot device, which is an epic utility item. Nice. A small magical clicker resembling an old classroom presentation remote.
Oh my god, perfect.
Right? The effect is once per social interaction, you may reset a failed conversational exchange.
That's hilarious.
That would help for
love
future
that.
interviews.
Yeah.
Let's just reset that.
Time briefly rewinds 10 seconds, allowing reworded dialogue, corrected responses, interruption, recovery, or stopping Jen before she over-explains herself into another dimension.
Perfect.
You might have to overuse it with me a little bit.
Oh.
A passive ability unlocked. Okay, let me rephrase that. Awkward social encounters now have a small chance to recover instead of catastrophically spiraling.
That's hilarious.
Amazing.
Which is great news for literally everyone in your party.
We're all
Yes,
terrible,
it is.
basically.
Yes, honestly. So Copper has racked up as well. He has gotten a vest of coordinated panic, which is rare armor, a magically linked defensive garment attuned to nearby allies, minor defense boost while nearby party members, increased movement speed during retreats, and temporary resistance to fear effects when allies are endangered. He's protective.
Yeah.
And he's got a threat prediction upgrade, which is his anxiety has now ascended into tactical precognition.
Ooh.
New effect. I knew that this was going to happen. He can detect ambush behavior, hidden boss mechanics, and suspicious room changes before activation.
Okay.
Nice.
I like the hidden boss mechanics. I think that one's going to come in like super clutch later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His tail now lowers approximately 12 seconds before danger occurs. This is somehow scientifically reliable.
Now we're gonna have to be staring at his tail.
I know.
I know, right? Like,
What's going
how's
on
it
now?
wagging?
Yeah.
All right. Mine was very long-winded. Steph, what about you?
Okay, so last time I started out at level 6, and now I have leveled up to 8.
Awesome. Yay.
My strength remained the same at 7. Dexterity went from 13 to 15. My endurance went from 15 to 16. Intelligence went up from 18 to 20. And then my charisma went up from, actually it went down from 4 to 13.
No.
Your AI hates you. Oh my God.
Damn. Okay, my new achievement is called Weaponized Anxiety. Your party has successfully transformed collective panic into a functioning combat strategy.
Yeah.
Mine was
Achievement
called
effect?
Weaponized Avoidance. I think that's
funny.
hilarious.
Effect, plus 10% tactical awareness, plus 10% escape success,
Nice.
and then small chance for accidental genius level problem solving.
Nice.
And then here's my loot box. It is called Socially Exhausted Tactical Cash. Inside, we have one cardigan of conversational deflection. So this is a cozy, enchanted cardigan that lowers NPC suspicion during awkward conversations and allows the wearer
Interesting.
to redirect uncomfortable questions toward another party member.
Oh, thanks. Just throw it our way.
Jeez. I know. Throw
Yeah.
us under the bus. Jesus.
Passive effect. Actually, Ethan had a really interesting point about that.
It's me, not you, Jen. You're safe.
Good, because you already had me like on yours. What is it
And
with
then-
our cardigans, man? We love our cardigans.
Because we all like cozy things.
Very
Yeah.
obviously.
Abercrombie
Yeah.
and Fitch.
Remember, I'm the cozy conspirator.
Very true.
I need a cardigan. I also
Naturally.
get one Viper's Paws, a single-use skill token that temporarily slows time for 3 seconds while you assess danger. Bonus, the calmer you appear externally, the stronger the effect becomes.
Ooh, okay.
Very
Like
Does that mean it gets longer instead of just 3 seconds?
I guess
Was
so.
this the
Yeah.
stronger the effect? So I guess that, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or maybe
love
it
that
could
for
slow
us.
down like big things because it's a stronger effect.
Like maybe during a boss battle or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it just says slows time, so time in general. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then one audience-approved red blend, a dungeon
Nice.
wine rewarded to crawlers who accidentally become entertaining.
I love a good
X.
blend.
The effects are +2 temporary charisma,
Yes.
reduces fear effects,
Yep.
and increases likelihood of oversharing under pressure. We could
Was
all
this listening
use
to
that.
mine? Yeah.
Probably.
That's funny. Okay, so Jen, the soft-hearted strategist here. I leveled up from 6 to 7. I went from strength of 8 to 9, dexterity 14 to 16, endurance 15 to 17, intelligence 20 to 22, and charisma 18 to 19. And my new achievement is called Tactical Retreat Counts as Strategy. So you successfully avoided a near certain boss fight by combining planning, timing, traps, and one aggressively alert beagle. Most crawlers charged directly into danger, screaming battle cries. You looked at the crack hair and said, absolutely not, and left with all your limbs intact. Honestly, rare behavior. I got one loot box. It was called the Gold Survivalist Box. And this is awarded to crawlers smart enough to understand that living is technically winning. So I also got a cardigan, which is why I was saying, like, look at our group getting all these cardigans.
I just
We're
need a
so
cardigan
cozy.
Yeah. So this is called the Cardigan of Tactical Cover. And it is an oversized cardigan that briefly slows incoming attacks. So, like, whoever's attacking us, it slows them down. And it creates partial cover for our allies, so like for us. It also has a passive bonus, which is increased resistance to an ambush damage. And the special effect is a protective wrap, which temporarily shields one ally during an escape attempt. So only one of you guys, sorry.
Oh,
But I feel like all of us are getting like protective
Yeah.
abilities
Gear,
this
yeah.
way. So like all of us can be protected at some point in time.
Yeah. Okay, so Baxter got an upgrade to his harness. So he had this harness already, and he got an upgrade. And so now Baxter can detect hidden enemies. He can detect any traps. He can detect incoming attacks, and he can detect a stealth mobs. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the last item I got was a strategy notebook. And it is a magically updating notebook filled with observations, weak points, and tactical reminders.
That's
And-
amazing.
Yeah. And it has a +1 intelligence during boss encounters, an increased chance to detect environmental clues before a fight begins. Yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So there we go, you guys. I think that's going to come in super like clutch later, the notebook.
yeah.
Awesome.
Yay.
Okay. Well, I always love that section. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's so fun.
I still to this day want to play D&D, and I feel like this is very leaning towards that. So
It might
that's
be
probably
our,
something fun we could do as a group.
I was going to say, it might be our summer thing that we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, summer hobbies.
Yay.
Okay, so this leads us to our final segment here before we wrap things up. What could possibly go wrong? This is our standard theory and slash or prediction segment. So I'm going to get us kicked off here. The whole donut situation. Okay. And you alluded to this a little bit before, Jen, but even Odette, while she loves the energy that Donut brings, she even admits that Donut has some maturing to do, because she's only been, quote unquote, alive since the game began.
Yeah.
And not even then, like she started out as a regular cat and then she had to eat the pet biscuit. So I'm predicting that there will eventually be tension between Donut and Carl. Even Carl mentions while he was thinking to himself that Donut could be trouble, considering she is all about the attention.
Yeah.
And we love to see it, right? Like she's hilarious in these moments where it is very much in her element, but he gets lightheartedly frustrated with her. I think there may be a moment in the future where she crosses a line because of it.
Yeah, Ethan, I can totally see that happening. She's a show cat, so like she obviously loves the attention. And now she has a voice to voice that
Right.
attention too. Like, so it could be a little dangerous. And that's kind of what I was wondering earlier. Like, is this a dangerous feeling that Carl is having? Like, is this foreshadowing that something big's going to happen? I hope not.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
I love
I know.
Carl and Donut together,
They're such a great team.
Yeah.
I love them.
Okay, so mine is more of like a thought that's kind of going into a prediction / question. I don't know. I'll see what you guys think.
Okay.
So I think there's something going on with Agatha. You guys know who I'm talking about, right? Okay. I just cannot quite figure out what it is yet. So this is more of a thought leading into a production. First, she was the one who set that fire to make the Meadowlark group go outside when the world collapsed. Intentional? Yeah. Who knows? Now she gets erased from the recap show, and her face didn't show up when they showed the pictures of the winners after they fought that Boro boss, because she was in there.
Right.
Mordecai made a vague comment about that and said they probably didn't want to confuse the narrative, and then like basically waved it off, like no more talking about this, right? Basically dismissing it, but I think that was like on purpose.
Yeah.
He didn't want to actually talk about what really happened. And then I just think that she's involved in something bigger. Since I can't really see what that bigger picture is yet with the syndicate and the intergalactic politics, then I don't know what it is yet. Or am I making this all a big deal? And this could just be because she never entered a tutorial guild and got access to her inventory. Like, I don't know.
Well,
what do y'all think?
okay. I'm actually going to turn this into my thing because I remember thinking about this and then forgetting to jot it down. But I also noticed, you know, those moments where they brought up like, wait, Agatha wasn't in that feature where we killed that Burrow boss. And like, once they got down to the second floor, Agatha just like went off on her own, and then they never saw her again.
Yep.
One thing about the maps is that it shows when there's a dead crawler on the map. And
That's
she
true.
never appeared on the map for Carl and Donut as dead.
Yep.
So she may still be out there. And like the prediction I was getting to when I was thinking about, you know, how it seems like Mordecai doesn't really want to talk about it when he brought it up. And like they're obviously covering up the fact that she was there at all, or, you know, part of the party at all. I'm wondering if they like scooped her up as like to play some other role in this game, you know, like maybe as another boss, like what we've been talking about, because the bosses up until this point seem to kind of emulate stereotypical personalities that you see in humanity, and she was an unhoused individual who doesn't seem like all the way quite there mentally. So I could see you know, the game choosing to use that as like a potential boss or something like that.
I don't know about the boss thing. I think she's more of a, because remember last section I talked about how I thought that maybe the syndicate was very intentional on who they wanted to put into the dungeon, right?
Oh, right.
So what if she's that person who is like the inside man from the government that's there to make sure things
Like a
are
plant.
happening the way it should? Yeah. That's kind of what I.
And she's like putting on this front so people don't like guess that she might have some other intention.
Yeah.
Are y'all like big Marvel people?
I've watched all the Marvel movies.
Okay, so I love Marvel. Like, oh my gosh. There's a series after Infinity War and Endgame. There's a series, WandaVision. And it is so beautifully done.
Yes,
I love that show.
I love WandaVision.
But at the end, it's revealed, you know, spoiler, it's revealed that Agatha is the one behind everything. And so this immediately, when I was reading this part, I was like, some things are not adding up here.
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, immediately the song popped into it was Agatha all along.
Yeah.
Like,
because then that leads into her show.
Right. Yeah. Yes. Which is amazing.
Also
I love
amazing.
that show.
Yes. I love that one too.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But also Doctor Strange and Wiccan are my favorite Marvel characters, but that's totally beside the point.
Yeah.
But this just it reminded me of that song, which made me think, like, is something more nefarious going on with this character?
Yep.
So I don't know, because honestly, Dungeon Crawler Carl must have been written before WandaVision, surely. But I don't. If not, that would be a really cool Easter egg.
I still think that the Syndicate made it to where they chose which crawlers would go into the dungeon, but there's 10 books in the series. I
Which
don't
could
know.
make sense here too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could.
Okay, crawlers, that was the end of our third deep dive on Dungeon Crawler Carl by Matt Ditteman. Let's keep this discussion going. We are Books Between Friends pod on all platforms. Thank you guys so much for interacting with us, for tuning in, for listening. We look forward to chatting with you guys about this book. We know that everybody basically is reading this one right now, so we want to hear what your thoughts are. What would you guys do in this situation if you guys were in the dungeon? Please let us know. And always remember to read, read, read.
Okay, you guys. So next time, things in the dungeon are escalating fast. The pressure is mounting and Carl and Donna are running out of good options. Join us next week as we cover chapters 37 through the end of Dungeon Crawler Carl, where the stakes get higher and the dungeon proves it's nowhere near done with them yet. That's a wrap for Books Between Friends today. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you in the next chapter.